my mouth. It's literally a dozen dogs over there. You don't need another one.
He's not injured.
Can I
He's
just
asleep.
Do you mind if I just feel him for 1 second, ma'am? It's okay, it's okay. Do you mind if I just feel him for a second, ma'am?
I mean, without question, one of the more disturbing things happening in an American city right now. This is happening in America. Nobody's talking about this. California politicians certainly aren't, or they're denying that it's happening. We'll get to that. The ASPCA is nowhere to be found. The police are nowhere to be found. Dogs living on Skid Row in Los Angeles, they're being abused, they're being killed, they're overdosing on drugs because addicts are testing drugs on them to make sure they're not laced with deadly fentanyl. They don't want to die. They don't mind if their dog dies. And we've got the video to prove all this. Joey Tuccio has rescued dozens of dogs on Skid Row. Julio Rosas is a reporter who's been on the ground covering this story. It's great to have you both here. Joey, take us through what's going on.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for having us. And Julio, good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, I've been going to Skid Row for about 3 years, volunteering to help the animals on Skid Row. The founders of the rescue have been going there for 9 years, and it is absolute hell for these dogs. We recently rescued a dog that had his eyes and privates glued shut. We had another dog that we just rescued that the arm was rotting so bad it had to be amputated. Meanwhile, the person was trying to do surgery on the dog's leg. There was another dog that was being beat up, another dog that was pumped with drugs, and nobody in City Hall, no official, Karen Bass, Newsom, nobody's talking about it, and we're not getting any help.
Did you say eyes and privates glued shut? Why would anybody do that?
Because on Skid Row, everybody's on drugs. You're dealing drugs, you're taking drugs, nobody's in their right state of mind. And that's the problem, is that we have these people that are so severely addicted, mentally unwell to say the least, and they're trying to take care of 1 to 12 dogs. One person's trying to take care of 1 to 12 dogs.
Wow.
And they can't. So we get the call in the middle of the night that this dog is overdosing. This dog was abandoned. This dog was run over by a car. And so we get those calls every day.
All right, I want to play a video. Julio, this is a dog that was overdosing. Narcan was being used to stop the dog from overdosing. Where are the police? Where is the state? Where is the ASPCA? Where is anybody to step in and stop this from happening? They're giving the dog what looks like Narcan, Julio.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. It's not that these people aren't around. They are around, but they don't want to do anything. And, you know, when you talk to Joey or Stars is One Today, they'll tell you, and I've reported that, you know, City Hall, they've said we are not going to enforce any of the animal abuse laws. We're not going to enforce the spay and neutering laws. They're not supposed to be breeding right now because the LA County shelters are so overwhelmed. And it's this continuation of what we've seen from, you know, those leaders for a long time, where we're not going to do the common sense thing because we don't want to seem like we're oppressing this marginalized community, being homeless people and drug addicts. But
wow.
You know, the people are one thing, right? And you do kind of feel bad for them. But, you know, in a lot of cases, in most cases, they are choosing to stay on the street. Okay. You know, and that has a whole host of problems. But these dogs, they don't have a choice. They are literally born into this. These dogs don't live very long. You know, Joey and Victoria have told me that they rarely, if at all, see any dog past the age of 2 or 3. That's how disposable their lives are.
This is so disturbing to me. I grew up with 3 dogs, and when, you know, a dog gets older and passes away, my parents would get another dog. It's so beyond disturbing. And what bothers me, too, is the Democrats there. Here's the mayor, Karen Bass. Take a listen to what she said about this. She says it's not happening. Take a look.
The animals are not neglected, and as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why we've been able to reduce street homelessness is because when we house people, we take their animals as well.
Joey, just a couple quick ones. Do you have any idea how many dogs have died just in the time you've been there? And then I'm just wondering, where are the dogs coming from? Where are they getting these dogs?
For sure. First off, that clip of Karen Bass saying that is so frustrating to me because she has lied to the public so many times, and that is just a blatant lie. The amount of dogs that have died there, I mean, I have countless. The dog that was overdosing on drugs, that woman had 12 dogs. 12. One by one, they started to die by overdosing, by getting run over by cars. And she refused to let us take any of these dogs. And they slowly started dying. They were just kind of thrown around Skid Row. I mean, it's disgusting. So, I mean, how many dogs have died? Countless. And any way you could imagine.
Is it true that people on the streets are breeding the dogs so they can then have puppies and have more dogs to test deadly drugs out on so they don't die from the deadly drugs that they're about to use themselves? Julio, is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not surprising because, I mean, if they're not going to be enforcing any of the drug laws, then, you know, why would they enforce any of the animal abuse laws? And when I was there back in February, it was a random Saturday. Like, it should not be an easy thing to do to walk in the middle of one of America's largest streets. And we rescued 3 dogs just within, what was it, Joey, like 2 hours, 3 hours. And that included the dog whose leg had to be amputated because it was so swollen, it was so infected. And then later, the Starts With One Today team told me that same guy had gotten another dog that he was abusing. That's part of the problem, is that you can take and rescue one dog, but unless that person's held accountable, which they're not, they're going to get another dog, and then that dog suffers. So it's just very frustrating. And I thank you for having us on today, because as much as we're talking about Skid Row, it's all over LA County as well.
I am so disturbed by this story, but we have to cover it because the rest of the media is covering it up, including the Democrats that run that state. Spencer Pratt, he's looking better and better from a bird's eye view out here in New York. I'm telling you, he is. Julio Rosas, Joey Tuccio, thanks so much for being here. We'll have you back. Thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, coming up, a drug.